Well, I'd like to welcome you to our volunteer appreciation banquet for our boards and commissions. And of course, we're here to honor not only our board and commission folks, but also all of the volunteers that we have in the city. I'm Todd Gautell, I'm the mayor for the city, and very, very pleased to be here this evening. I'll tell you that it really is an honor to be able to stand in front of you tonight. You are surrounded by an amazing group of men and women, and this is just a small portion of the folks that participate and give back to the city every single day. Without the volunteers, we could not do everything that we do. You guys are an amazing group of individuals and continue to give back to the city again and again and again.
Tonight, we're happy to recognize the volunteers who graciously give of their time and their talents to make our community a better place to live, work, and enjoy. Tonight, we take this opportunity to thank you. Whether you serve on a board, volunteer with a city department, or volunteer with our community partners, such as CERT, Keep Rowlett Beautiful, and Racy's, we offer our sincerest thanks and want you to know how much we appreciate you. Our 11 boards and commissions and the volunteers who lend a helping hand at the city serve an important and critical need. In some cases, we would not be able to run our programs and services without our volunteers. Here are just some fun facts. Yes, numbers. I love data. These are absolutely staggering. In the past year, ending September 30th, that's the end of our fiscal year, so that 12-month period, our boards and commission members volunteered 50,724 hours. Hours. Not minutes, hours. Of their time and energy. And our staff volunteers logged in 16,437 hours, the equivalent of 8 full-time employees, representing a savings of $385,000 to the city. Doesn't that say something about the citizens of Rowlett? All volunteers who averaged at least 200 hours last year were invited to attend this evening. In addition, we have 4 volunteers who were nominated for Volunteer of the Year. Those nominations include, and if you wouldn't mind standing as I call your names and remain standing. I know Don Costley's not here tonight. Dwayne Gates. Did I see Dwayne? No. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Chris Taylor. And James Taylor.
Thank you, Brian. Don't you just love this city? Such a great place to live. So you can clap with that, guys. As the city manager said, we need and we so appreciate our volunteers. They really make Rowlett just a great place to live.
You've seen them around, you've seen the events that Keep Rowlett Beautiful has, you've seen the work that Fire Corps and CERT and Racy's and VIPs are doing. When anytime there's a downtown event, all of those folks are involved in volunteering and helping out, and we appreciate their service. So finally, we're going to recognize those folks who have volunteered more than 200 hours this past year. We're going to give them a certificate of appreciation. So when your name is called, you get to come forward and have your picture made with Tammy. And I'm going to start, some of these folks aren't here, but I'm going to read their names off anyways. And if you do happen to be here, even if we're not expecting you, go ahead and come on up. Janine Langford, 201 and a half hours. You have to pause for the picture. If we don't get a picture, it didn't really happen. Next is Linda Fugit with 228 and a half hours. Linda? She's not here? Okay. Suzanne Chisholm, 234 hours. Dawn Costley, 293 and a half hours.
Do you know that Suzanne's not here?
She's not in red, so I'm assuming she's not. Suzanne here? No. Rosemary Warrow, 309 and a half hours. That's like 10 weeks of full-time volunteering. Wow. Okay. Next is Barbara Grissell, 397 hours. Dwayne Gates, 411 and a half hours. Benny Stovall, 526 hours. Sharon Porter, 782 hours, 782 and a half hours. Sharon here? Okay. She's out volunteering. And last one for tonight. Huh? Last one for tonight with 931 hours. Lee Shaw. Awesome. All right. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your dedicated service. At this time, Councilmember Sheffield and the mayor will be coming up to recognize the outgoing volunteers.
Well, I want to take a moment here and just recognize the members that are outgoing this evening. This year, we've had many of our boards and commission members that have reapplied, but we still have to say goodbye to 26 members. If you're an outgoing member, I'd like for you now, if you would, please stand and we can recognize you and give you another round of applause. Outgoing members. Okay, I have more than 2 RSVPs here. I'm going to go through the list and call out the names. Hopefully you're going to get to give out some plaques. At least 2 anyway, we saw. 3? Okay. First from the RSVPs I have, and I'm going to read everybody's name here too. They should have their name in the record. Is it Laquita or Lakita Brown? Lakita. Fred Cares. And this is better than a certificate. You got a plaque. Very good. Thank you. Robert Kittrell. I know I saw Robert back there. Come on up, Robert. Robert has been on our Planning and Zoning Commission. He's been on the Board of Adjustments, a man of many talents. Oh yeah, he says. Hugo Martinez. Hugo's here.
It's the most wonderful time.
There we go. There we go. Ah, somebody. Gregory Peoples.
See, he's got the drill down. There we go.
Doug Phillips. Y'all may not recognize Doug. Did they not put one up there for him? His name's in red, so it's supposed to be there. And Brownie Sherrill. That's all the names that I had that showed for that RSVP'd for this evening. I would, just so we have it here to read this other list of people, all these volunteers that have given their time to the city. Jeff Carr, and if by chance you are here, come up. Monica Carr, Carol Dodd, Mark Font, Bill Gilbreth, Rick Helfers, Erica Holloman, Paul Jokish, Harold Kless, Greg Landry, Robert Martinez Jr., Molly McCullen Miles, Sharon Moore, Miranda Morgan, Jennifer Morales, Jeffrey Nichols, the family of John Pritchard, Stephen Sourwine, and Loretta Soto. And for those that were not here tonight, we thank you for that service as well.
Thank you, Rick. We're going to start off tonight with the Platinum Volunteer Award. There are many accolades that can be used to describe the recipient of this year's Platinum Volunteer Award, and this person is deserving of them all. From going above and beyond, responding quickly to needs, bringing character to the group, and being a prolific worker, these are just a few phrases that describe our volunteer. This person makes the Rowlett Police Department's Community Services Division an efficient group. He is not only a part of the City Volunteers and Police Services, which is VIPS, but he trains new members and teaches them the proper procedures for patrol and other areas within the VIPS program. This person actively recruits new members and is always willing to be the first one to sign up for city work special events, or he makes himself available for school crossing guard duties as needed. In addition to his normal duties, this person works with code enforcement by assisting code enforcement officers in performing re-inspections so that it frees up officers to devote more time to improving the aesthetic beauty of our community. This person is a wonderful volunteer who offers over 400 hours per year. He is an incredible asset to the city, and this community is blessed to have his service. Even more importantly, he is a devoted husband, father, grandfather, and devoted friend to many. He was recently honored as the 2014 Volunteers in Service Officer of the Year and is now the recipient of the 2014 Platinum Volunteer Award. It is my pleasure to present Dwayne Gates for this year's winner of the Platinum Volunteer Award. Our first ever Gold Star Award is actually going to be presented to a team. They've been described as being punctual, they listen carefully to instructions regarding projects they're working on, and they follow directions. Always important for volunteers to follow directions. With cheerful attitudes and bright smiles, they are a joy to work with and have always been friendly to staff and patrons. They themselves have been library patrons since 2001. They also volunteer at the Garland Public Library as well. They have been volunteers for Rowlett's Public Library off and on since 2007, but began volunteering regularly in June of 2013 and have hardly missed a week since. What makes this team extraordinary is their dedication to volunteerism at the library. Both are very conscientious about the job they do, always ensuring that the items are shelved properly in the area is tidy. One of the most important jobs in the library is making sure that items are not only available for checkout. Their dedication to this task is a service not only to the library, but more importantly to the citizens of Rowlett and the patrons of the library. In their spare time, one member of the team is very active in Special Olympic sports and rides horses at eQuest in Wiley. And the other member of the team enjoys her volunteer hours and enjoys reading. Please join me in presenting the Gold Star Award to James and Chris Taylor as they make a real difference in our community. This year, we proudly present the award for the Diamond Award to the person with integrity, compassion, and spirit. This person is an amazing resource with a wealth of experience, depth of knowledge, commitment and dedication, and a far-reaching network. The efforts this person puts forth exhibits remarkable, again, dedication and caring for our community. She's been instrumental in publishing the Emergency Operations Plan and completing a grant that allowed us to hire a full-time emergency management specialist this year. She is the retired director of the 911 Center in North Little Rock, Arkansas, very proud mother and grandmother who dedicates her valuable time to serve our community. She is a Rowlett resident, and that was what makes her special for volunteering. She cares for this city, and what she does here is our reward. In the words of Winston Churchill, we make a living by what we do, but we make a life by what we give. This person certainly gives in a multitude of ways. She was a recipient of the 2009 and 2013 Volunteer of the Year Award, and it's always an honor to recognize distinguished members of our many volunteer service programs. Tonight, we want to recognize an individual we consider a full-time volunteer, and we are truly blessed to have someone on her quality on our team. Please join me in recognizing our Emergency Management Coordinator volunteer, Lee Shaw, who volunteered 931 hours last year. Lee. We present this year's Volunteer of the Year Award to a person who's been described as being a character with a big loving heart. This person not only comes to work with a warm smile and a super positive attitude, but has a magnetic personality and connects with people young and old. This person's dedication and commitment to service in our community is outstanding. Retired from the Air National Guard after 22 years and retired from FedEx with 25 years of service, she loves to travel, takes pride in her roses garden, and rumor has it she makes a mean pico de gallo. She collects Pillsbury Doughboys collectibles and has a huge Dallas Cowboy fans. Yeah. She loves to travel and spend weeks at a time visiting family and friends. She always has a smile and a kind, encouraging word, even when things get hectic. She stepped up to offer assistance in what for many cities would be considered a full-time job. For almost 2 years, in addition to performing regular volunteer duties, from assisting at special events to providing administrative assistant duties, this person has been an integral component in the Parks and Recreation Department, achieving accreditation through the Commission on Accreditation of Parks and Recreation Agencies. She got her hands dirty from day one. She helped pull together research and policies and procedures to help the department meet the necessary requirements and standards. Over a 24-month period, she proved the accreditation document and self-assessment no less than 5 times from cover to cover. It was over 200 pages. She asked the hard questions and helped this department succeed in achieving accreditation. In addition, she printed up all the backup documentations for all 144 standards, created a hard copy set that was used exclusively by the site team that came on the accreditation site visit team. Her keen eye and dedication to the Parks Department accreditation kept the ball rolling through the team to finish what was started. She has also been integral in helping the department develop and create our Parks and Recreation operating plan manual by frequently making changes and helping develop a document that the accreditation site team was impressed with and more than met their needs. She is also currently working with both the Parks and Recreation Division managers to compile our Emergency Operations Action Plan for Parks, Recreation, and our wet zone into one cohesive document and to develop a disruptive behavior policy. This year's Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Dawn Costley, and she makes a real difference in the life of our community, and her generosity and genuine devotion makes her an outstanding volunteer and a rare find. Since Dawn could not attend tonight, the award will be accepted on her behalf by Angie Smith, our Recreation Division Manager. Please join me in congratulating Dawn Costley.
Well, this is a difficult job. First and foremost, you're asked the question and said, well, you have to pick one individual. One. It's difficult because at the end of the day, when you look at the names on the list and you come up with the names, you all are on the list. And it's very difficult to choose that one individual that exemplifies volunteerism. And the Richard Hough Award is really around excellence in community service. This year's recipient, and I have a lot of difficulty because I'll tell you, one of the hardest parts again is choosing that one individual that exemplifies. We come up with a list of names and everybody's on the list. And you go, well, how do you differentiate? And you start trying to cut that list down and you go, but this person did this and this person did this, and it's very difficult. I called a friend of mine and said, well, I'm having some difficulty, and she mentioned the individual's name. And then I called one of the council members and said, I need some help. And before I could mention any names, he mentioned the same individual. So I knew I was on the right track at that point. This individual is really, truly amazing. Words like dedicated, organized, a true leader, amazing. These are the words that were described by others. Infectious personality, a great cheerleader for the city of Rowlett. This individual is involved in the Chamber of Commerce, involved with the Garland Independent School District, and also involved with our CIP task force, our bond committee. This individual is also an ordained minister. She represents KRB at the chamber luncheons, at city meetings, various networking events. She manages and coordinates community service workers. Attended the Keep Rowlett Beautiful conference in Austin, organized 2 litter cleanups, increased the KRB volunteers from 50 to over 300. You got to be pretty infectious to be able to do that, don't you? It's amazing. Revived the Adopt a Road program, and really the pinnacle in my eyes is wrote a winning application for the $250,000 Keep Rowlett Beautiful, or Keep Texas Beautiful Landscape Beautification Grant from TxDOT. Helps maintain the Kids Kingdom to keep it alive, the jugs around town. A member of the board of the Rowlett Chamber of Commerce. A member of the Kayak Education Foundation. And with her assistance, helped increase the funding for Keep Rowlett Beautiful to help fund the additional programs that needed to be funded. Not only attends, but works the booth at the Taste and Trade. We're talking a lot of volunteer hours, and these are not counted in with the regular hours. So when we think about the regular hours, talk about 900 hours here, 700 hours here, 300 hours. There is a tremendous amount of time and individuals in this room that we don't count. But this one individual really, truly stood out. And also applied and received grants for Schrady Middle School Environmental Club to enlarge their garden and install irrigation program. This individual, in my eyes, exemplifies and truly is the great cheerleader for the city of Rowlett. And it gives me great pleasure and honor to give this year's award to Martha Brown. Before we conclude this evening, I'd like to give a special thanks to our city manager, Brian Thunderberg. If you can stand for just a moment. Brian has done an amazing job as city manager for the city. We were so pleased at council to have an opportunity to appoint him. And initially he said, I don't want this job. And we talked to him a little more and said, but everybody loves you. You'd be really great at this. I don't want this job. And after some, I guess, thought and prayer on his part with his family and a little coaxing on the council side, he gladly accepted the position, and we could not be happier. And I want to thank you for your support and all the hard work and effort that you do, and the amazing job that all of your staff does as well. So thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. In closing this evening, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We could not do what we do without each and every one of you every day. You continue to give back to this city in ways that are unseen and ways that are seen. We could not run the programs that we run without you. I'm amazed every day, and I'm so proud to be affiliated with such a great organization. And you guys make stuff happen on a regular basis. You know, when we talk about this sense of community, this great sense of community, it's because of everybody in this room. You guys create that great sense of community. You make us one of the best places to live. And so for that, thank you, and God bless each and every one of you, and have a great evening. Thank you.